up, guys? It is Jaden and our resident expert Caleb back with Fantasy Tomorrow to talk Week 10. So we talked waiver wires earlier, and now we're talking trades and targets. So Caleb, who should we be looking to target going into Week 10?
So yeah, some players to target in trades. It's basically a bunch of wide receivers. Right now, the way the running backs are in the league, there's not a whole lot to really trade for or to trade away. So it's a little iffier. But wide receivers, there's definitely some value to find and to exploit. So first off, Adam Thielen, wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, he has not been playing especially well the last couple of weeks. He's someone whose value is very low right now. And I think that's going to change. The Vikings have been running the ball a lot the last couple of weeks, and they're going up against defenses where they're able to do that, or they've been doing that pretty effectively. So I think that Thielen is definitely somebody that you can go out and grab at a very cheap value or a very cheap price, and he's going to probably eventually turn back into a top 10 wide receiver, which is what he was doing earlier this season when the Vikings were throwing the ball more. I also like the idea of going out and trading for Michael Thomas right now. Now, Thomas finally returned from his injury after an 8-week absence, and he didn't play especially great. He didn't put up great fantasy numbers, but I think that's mostly because of the game script of that game. New Orleans was leading for that entire game. They were absolutely just destroying the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that they're going to not be in that same situation going forward. I think they're probably going to be in some tighter, more close games, and that's going to benefit Michael Thomas, as that means that the Saints are going to have to pass the ball more. So Thomas's value is going to go up. He's somebody that could win you your league if he goes back and reverts back to performing like he did last year. I think that's something that he could be able to do. I also like the idea of going out and trading for Devontae Parker right now, and that's because I like the Dolphins' new offense. They've been playing a lot better, especially now that they have Tua going out there and slinging the ball around. I like him as a passer a lot. Not to mention, Preston Williams just went out with an injury. He was really the only true competition for targets in that Miami Dolphins offense. So I think Parker could see quite a bit of work for the Dolphins. And I also like the idea of another pass catcher, but not a wide receiver. I like the idea of going out and trading for Mark Andrews, tight end for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, he has not been as good as you likely expected him to be this year, but I think that's going to turn around. He's one of the few tight ends that I would classify as elite. He's a tight end that you are starting each and every week. And while he hasn't been producing as expected, I think he eventually is going to get things turned around. I think that Baltimore offense is going to get better as the season goes on. And Lamar Jackson is eventually going to kind of come out of his shell and be able to rely on Andrews in the passing game. It's something they need to do in order to get better as an offense. So I think Mark Andrews has a high ceiling going forward. He's someone whose value is very low right now. You could probably get him for very cheap. And if you can, you should go out and do it.
Okay, guys, there you go. Those are people you should be targeting. Caleb, are there anybody that we should feel okay with trading away going into Week 10?
Yeah, just a couple this week. I said this last week, but I really like the idea of trading away Mike Evans. Mike Evans has been producing okay numbers at wide receiver, but the problem is he's seen a very small or very low volume in that offense. And now they have also got Antonio Brown, and Chris Godwin's back finally. They have Rob Gronkowski to pass to, and then also Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones. Tom Brady's been dumping off the ball quite a bit. So I just don't really see the upside of having Mike Evans. He's been seeing such little volume that I think that eventually he's going to regress and just not be able to produce good wide receiver numbers. So I think you should trade him while his value is still high. You might be able to sell him, get a good running back or someone that's at least, flex viable running back, which is, kind of hard to find nowadays. So if you were able to do that, I would absolutely go do it. I would also feel pretty good about selling Jerick McKinnon right now, running back for the 49ers. He's been producing. He had a good Week 9, which is something that actually surprised quite a few fantasy analysts. A lot of people thought JaMycal Hasty was going to come in and get a lot of the work on the ground, but it turned out to be the Jerick McKinnon show. And I think that going forward, you probably can't rely on that. This backfield for the 49ers has been in such a disarray with so many injuries and people coming in and out. And eventually, Tevin Coleman and Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson. All these players are going to return eventually. So if you can sell Jerick McKinnon now before all of those players return in the next couple of weeks, I would, because you just can't count on this backfield, and it's going to be just impossible to pick which one is going to have a good week and be startable for fantasy football. So sell Jerick McKinnon, sell Mike Evans.
Okay, there you guys have it. Those are your trades and targets going into week 10. Take it as you will. We are going to take it and go make those trades and targets. With that being said, we're going to say goodbye to Caleb and throw up a recap for you. And tell you to like, comment, and subscribe, but I'm sure you already done that. And with that being said, my name's Jaden. This is Fantasy Tomorrow, where we're giving you the information to learn today and win tomorrow. See you guys.